My name is Optimus Prime, and here is an awesome video review from Jesse. Now watch as he lights our darkest hour. Yeah!
Welcome to another Transformers Combiner Wars review. This time we're looking at the leader class Megatron, Armada Megatron. Now, if you listen to Primecast, I said back when both of these Megatrons were announced, I was unsure which one to get, and I was only really wanting to get one, but was probably going to end up getting both. And guess what? I was right. I was going to get both. I did the G1 version a while back ago. Finally caved in and got this guy, and he looks pretty awesome in packaging here. Yeah, see him in the package. Looks really cool. Got a classic picture of Armada Megatron screaming right here. Got another picture of Megatron here. Got a nice picture here missing some silver paint on his antlers there. And it got the bio right here. If you want to take a gander at that, right there. Nothing on the top, and nothing on the bottom, and absolutely nothing on the side. So it's as I mess up my blanket here, let's go ahead and open him up. And here we have Armada Megatron out of his package, and I gotta say, I am really impressed with how the colors look with this tank in tank mode. The greens and these blues and grays here look so good. You're able to see a lot more of the details here. While the silver looked really great on the G1 Megatron, this just makes for a much more realistic and just kind of more fun looking tank mode. And I really do like it. And we'll take a look at this two side by side in a second, but let's take a little bit closer look. Like, you can especially see, like, I didn't even really notice these panels here before, but now they have like a bluish silver paint to them, and it really looks nice up against this green over here. You got the Decepticon symbol here, which used to be on the front piece for the G1 version. You can see his antlers sticking up here. Got his yellow stripe on the front section. See more of the same on this side. And of course, just like with the previous one, you can store the handgun on top, but if you want, you can also just leave it to the side. It doesn't really matter, but it looks good either way. And you can attach them to make one gun if you want and have it on top. So you have a few options with this guy, but it looks good without that as also. But I do actually prefer it with the weapon storage on top. And here we have both Combiner Wars Megatrons next to each other side by side. And while I still really like the extreme silver paint job on the G1 version, the darker, more military green really does work best as an overall tank. And I never got a actual Armada Megatron when Armada was first airing, but I did get Galvatron, just the white and purple repainted Megatron. And you can see that the new Combiner Wars one is a tad bit smaller in tank mode than Galvatron here. And one thing I did forget to mention is that just like the G1 Megatron, he actually has rubber rolling tank treads, which is awesome. I do, however, wish that this wheel here was not green. I wish it was painted the same color as this one. On the G1 version, it is matches the rest of them, while this one is green. Let's take a look. Yeah, both of these are green, and so that's kind of distracting. Transformation for this guy is almost exactly the same as the G1 version, just a different little step at the end, but for the most part is exactly the same. First, we're just going to separate the rear section here, and actually gonna need to fold his waist section up here and go ahead and rotate. Actually, no, we're not going to rotate around, sorry. Bring the legs down like this, fold these feet down, and the legs are done here. Fold these sections up, and normally on the G1 version, if you could see, normally in the G1 version would fold these tank treads up like this, but for the ARMADA one we're going to leave them out to the side, and we'll position them accordingly in a second. Rotate these arms to the side, bring up these forearm pieces to reveal the hands like so. Spin this around for his gun, bring down the chest, snap in place, and there we see the new head sculpt for ARMADA Megatron, and there he is. And this is where ARMADA Megatron really does start to feel like a different figure, not only just because of the color, but with a completely different head sculpt and the slightly alternate transformation really does make this figure a good buy, even if you have the G1 Megatron figure. And this is exactly why I'm digging this. The toy version, the original toy ARMADA Megatron and Galvatron, was a joke of a figure. I never liked it. It was just decent and did not age very well. While I really did like Megatron and Galvatron's appearance in the show, the toy didn't really do it justice and really make an imposing looking character. This does that, and it does it very, very well. Although it's, you know, it's not really a 100% accurate version of ARMADA Megatron, like how his tank tread should be attached to his shoulders here instead of his back. It still does a great job at representing ARMADA Megatron. And especially when you look at the head here, the head sculpt is just dead on. Although I do wish they would have included some silver paint on his antlers there. But the purple face and expression is great. Do not like the light piping though, just like with the G1 version, do not like the light piping. He does not have a Decepticon's logo on his chest. He now has them on his shoulders here, and you know, you can obviously tell this is a G1 Megatron chest, but it's still, because of the paint scheme, it holds together very well. And got some nice more silver here on his shins, and overall just a great looking figure. Now, to cover articulation, he does seem like he has a bit more range of motion in the head, mainly due to just the lack of a bucket head, and a little bit more. The head overall is just a little bit smaller, you know, not counting the antlers here, so that's good. Get a nice up and down, side to side. He's got really good ratcheting shoulders, but because of the alternate position of the tank treads here, it kind of gets in the way here, unless you pretty much go straight up, but by then it looks a little bit awkward, and you could, you know, push these things back to give the shoulders more motion, but then it kind of loses the effect of looking like ARMADA Megatron. Same thing on this side, and shoulder movement is slight, or elbow movement, just like on G1, is slightly limited just because of the cannon here, but you can move it over to the side like how I just did and get a decent range of motion there. It does have a waist swivel here with a nice ratcheting hip joint there, and his knees also ratchet, and his feet also ratcheting. So tons and tons of nice, satisfying ratcheting joints everywhere when you look. And here's both versions of Combiner Wars Megatron next to each other, And this is where the test really comes of which one looks better. Both of them look amazing in robot mode. This is more nostalgic. This is slightly more modern. It really does go to overall preference. If you only want to get one, which one do you want to get? It's really all about preference. To me, I could see why someone would choose one or the other in any way. The silver paint job on the G1 version here is amazing. I love it, and it's a great update to G1 Megatron. The head sculpt is fantastic. Transformation, both of these are fun and, you know, not overly complex, but it's amazing. While this one is a great update to a more modern looking Megatron, and just does a great job of making the toy version of Armada Megatron more imposing and frightening than the original one. And here we have the original Armada Galvatron next to the Combiner Wars Armada Megatron, and you can see what I mean. Like, this is not an imposing looking figure. It looks ridiculous. While this, the proportions are a lot better, it fits the character a lot better, and overall it just makes Armada Megatron a much more imposing character than this silly thing, which I do not care for much at all. So is this version of Armada Megatron worth getting? Definitely. And is he worth getting even if you had the G1 version? I believe so. If you were a fan of the Armada show, or just like the way Megatron looked in that show but was really disappointed by the way the toy represented him, then definitely this is a great up-to-date modern version of Armada Megatron, and it feels different enough than the G1 Megatron to really warrant getting the mold again. Especially the take mode, the colors work really good in take mode, and robot mode with the new head sculpt and the, you know, slightly different transformation really do enough to really make this feel like a different figure than the G1 version. I do believe it is worth getting. You can pick up this Armada Megatron at BigBadToyStore.com. Please click the link in the description below. You can follow me at Twitter at twitter.com/SSJAutobot. You can Instagram me too, SSJAutobot, and you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SSJ_Autobot, and I'll catch you next time.